Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Friday, May 26, 2023. Here in the United States, it's the start of the Memorial Day weekend. And as I read about it yesterday, it may or may not be an event-filled weekend, at least an obviously event-filled weekend. So we already know that we're going to kind of adopt a wait-and-see attitude and deal with big events when they become public and obvious and happen, and not ride any roller coasters of emotional energy. It's just a little reminder from yesterday. Today, I've got something fun to kind of look at. Earlier this week, it looks like someone joined the boot club. The last time I did a read about someone that did it was Katie Hobbs. Well, she seems to have possibly been joined by none other than Chelsea Clinton. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Chelsea was in a long flowing dress that should have kept this from being too obvious recently. This was from earlier this week. And Anons were quick to notice it, especially since her family's been known to wear the boot before. And there is a tweet with a close-up of that I included. No explanation for why it's on her foot, okay? As with so many. So here's where it gets a little tricky. There is an alt media source that has mixed results as far as accuracy. And I'm not just talking about the timing. Over time, they've shown themselves to be kind of a mixed assortment. And I'm not going to use the name, although I'm sure you know who I'm talking about if you're an alt media person. Anyway, they reported that the original Chelsea Clinton 1.0 was processed at the spa back in 2021. Now, here is the conjecture about that. Our 44th president apparently did a huge number of presidential pardons that were on the QT, quiet, that absolved a lot of people from nefarious activities. And in the interim, since 44 officially left office, I know he's in the background with 46, or some representative of him is. It gets complicated with all the 2 and 3.0s in our world, doesn't it? Well, anyway, they had to wait. If there was a presidential pardon involved, they had to wait until an actual new crime had been committed and follow up on that. And back in 2021, the alt media reporting was saying that Chelsea and her husband had been caught in crimes against little ones, especially out of Haiti, where her family has that roots and ties and businesses, okay? I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to give it the dignity of calling it a foundation or something like that, because it hasn't been a well-meaning organization from day one. But once again, someone is being allowed the rights, the responsibilities, the access, the funds, whatever, to act as Chelsea Clinton 1.0, if this one is indeed a 2.0 or higher. And that's why I like to read about the person that's acting under the auspices of that person, because it really does us no good to confirm if 1.0 is gone, okay? Sometimes information about that shows up in a read. It's interesting when it does. I'm interested in actions and consequences. And so because of that, I would like to ask the universe, the person seen in the public eye as Chelsea Clinton, regardless of which version she is, the one who's acting under the auspices of Chelsea Clinton and was wearing a boot earlier this week, what insights and information does the universe have to share with us about that situation, this person, and any other information that's deemed appropriate by the universe? So Chelsea Clinton, the person seen in the public eye, and operating with the authority and auspices of Chelsea Clinton. What's going on with the boot? And is there other information we should know? Let's find out. Okay, newest member of the boot club, possibly. Get insights and information about the person seen in the public eye as Chelsea Clinton here in just a second. Most recently, this Chelsea Clinton has been pushing for a child jab protocol that apparently is supposed to be, help kids catch up with that, the suggested jab protocols for them. I'm happy to be careful with my words here. I'm wondering if the boot is connected to that. Let's see. Have the Page of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Devil, Eight of Wands, Knight of Wands. Lots and lots of wands here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And only one major arcana, and it's not a good one. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. First of all, our question was indicated by the Page of Wands. And then I'm going to tell you what this tells me just off the top of the bat here, okay? First of all, I do still think that this Chelsea Clinton is not Chelsea Clinton 1.0. But acting as one, she has been caught giving into some temptations and doing some things that she shouldn't have been doing, okay? And the consequences are headed her way for that. Let's take a look now at the cards, and I'll show you why I came up with some of those conclusions. Besides just intuition, there should always be a little bit of a blend here. Okay, well, since we have all these wands, this is a discovery card, okay? So there was a discovery about Chelsea Clinton, all right? Now, the King of Wands is a card showing some leadership. So the leadership has stepped in because there was a discovery about something that this version of Chelsea Clinton was doing. Okay, in the recent past, Queen of Pentacles shows up, okay? She actually was in a very good place and didn't need to step out and agree to be a spokesperson and advocating for jab protocols for children, especially since some of the protocols, their procedures for them that they were advocating for weren't necessarily voluntary. All right. Now, there's some celebration going on here, and it's not for Miss Clinton, okay? It's for the fact that she's got a boot and things are changing with our world, okay? She's going to be facing it's going to happen swiftly, the consequences. And if it's a military tribunal with the Knight of Wands here, I'm kind of thinking it is, okay? It's going to be a tribunal situation. Those are fast. Wands are fast-moving events. They resolve fairly quickly. The Devil indicates a lot of times that there's been temptations that someone has fallen for. And it's no coincidence that I believe this young lady also wears an upside-down cross and what have you. So she's going to be held accountable. Let's get a couple other cards, see if there's more information about what's going on with this boot for Miss Clinton. Okay, some celebrating. Ace of Pentacles, we're getting a big yes, it's a boot, okay? And the boot has nothing to do with health. Chariot showing up, again, another one of my white hat cards. So yeah, she's facing some consequences. And Justice, doesn't get much clearer than that, does it? The boot is related to justice. The justice is related to activities that she shouldn't have engaged in, that were voluntary on her part, but that she did for money. And she had a chance and blew it. So now she's wearing a boot. And the justice that's coming is going to be fairly swift. We've got the wands. Again, those are a fast-moving card. So let's recap. Person seen in the public eye. as Chelsea Clinton was seen wearing a boot this week without a lot of explanation about it. So we asked the cards if there was some information to be had. Basically, in a nutshell, we asked if it was related to activities and what have you, crimes, and we got a big yes with the Ace of Pentacles showing up. And the last card that came up was the Justice card. So it doesn't take a lot of recap to get what we found here, that this version of Chelsea Clinton, the one able to act under her authority and with her under the auspices of that person, whether it was a 1.0 version or not, succumbed to some temptations, gave in to greed, and made some agreements that weren't, that they're being held accountable for. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? Well, that's it for this read. Those of us who are watching this and maybe chuckling and maybe glad that there's a little more evidence that some accountability is being found with people that aren't honoring human life and autonomy the way they should. Let's not join that club, all right? And let's just help ourselves to learn how to be glad when there's indications that there's some accountability being had without being gleeful about it. That's actually lowering our vibration. It's okay to want justice. It's okay to want restoration. It's okay to want that, but we don't need to slide into revenge and just ugly emotions towards these people or hybrids or creatures or clones or whatever they are that have not honored the sanctity of human life and are being held accountable for it. They should be. I'm glad they are when they are, but I'm not going to get gleeful about it. It's just part of the process of cleaning up this plane of existence. We all do our part, right? And maybe our part is just simply growing ourselves to have the attitude towards situations like that would make our Creator proud. And taking the time to give thanks where we can give thanks and picture the world the way we want it to be. Live as if it's already among us, part of our world is just picture it, okay? If something happened today and our plane of existence changed, but we still lived in structures and what have you, I'd be perfectly happy with being in this one here. So I can walk around in this one and have the joy I'd have if it was on a higher dimension of existence. Absolutely. And I hope you can too. So be good to yourself, be good to your family, your friends. This weekend, remember, is all about those who pay the ultimate sacrifice. No matter what was behind the conflict, who was profiting from it, or how bogus it might have been, there were people who gave their all for their country. And we honor them this weekend. For the men and the women that never came home, never got a chance to grow old. Until next time, love and light. Bye.